Okay, so today we're working on adding a health bar to your tank. The place where you actually do that is in the parent tank, which seems kind of odd. But both tanks are going to need to keep track of health or damage, I guess. So what we need to do is we need to add a draw event to our tank parent. We say draw. Now the draw event is kind of unique in that the only place you can draw anything is inside the draw event handler. If you try to draw outside of the draw event, it's not going to draw anything for you. Another problem with the draw event, or something you need to know about, is as soon as you say, I'm going to draw this sprite, the GameMaker system doesn't draw it for you then. You have to remember to draw the sprite as well. Now on the tank parent, well, there is no sprite, so we're not going to actually see that. But we do want to draw the health bar. So if we go to the draw event now, there's actually one just for the health bars, and it's right, where is it? Assuming it was here. It's probably underscore then. Yeah, there it is. So you want to set the health first. Now, this is actually going to be what are we going to say? It's going to be a damage bar rather than a health bar. So we're going to say 100 minus, and then we have a variable called damage. As it gets damage, it will add that. So if damage is 20, so 100 minus 20 is 80. And that's how much health you have, I guess. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to use that to actually draw the health bar. So that's here. And we have to set the coordinates. Now looking in the books, the coordinates they give us are negative 20, negative 35, 20, and negative 30. So negative 20, negative 35, was it? Yeah, for x1, y1. And then 20 and negative 30 for the other two. These are relative. And what x1, y1 is the top left corner of the health bar, and then x2, y2 is the bottom right corner. So we started out, this seems to imply that the tank is centered. Let's check our tank and make sure that's the case. It's not centered. Let's try it like this, and I think our health bar is going to be a little bit askew. Before this will work, though, in the two tanks that we've created for it, we have to actually add a draw event. And in this draw event, the first thing we want to do is call the parent draw event, so the draw event for object tank parent. And then also, now we want to draw our sprite. I guess that would be here, draw sprite. This would be tank 1, and we'll do that. It doesn't have an animation. We'll make it relative to the current position of the tank. I think that's what the book is trying to have us do. All right, so let's give this a try, see if this works out. Okay, so mine crashes right away. It says it doesn't know what the damage variable is. So let's go look and see why that was the case. Here's tank parent. In the create event, you should set a variable called damage and initialize it to 0. It looks like I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to create that variable here. I'm going to say damage, and we'll initialize it as 0 because there hasn't been any damage to the tank yet. You don't say relative If we do relative, that tries to add it to damage, and damage doesn't exist yet. So make sure to leave relative. Make sure to leave relative unchecked. Okay, let's try this again. Now what we hope to see is that there's this damage bar that floats above our tank, showing how much damage we have taken as we're playing our game. So you'll note that the health bar isn't in the right place. That's why I was thinking that the tank was centered. Okay, so probably the reason this happens is because the tank isn't centered. So let's go to the tank sprites and make sure they're centered. Here's one. I've only done one of them, but let's center that, and then I think everything will line up. Okay, so my initial placement in the room for the tank is too close to the wall now. So I'm kind of stuck. I can't really move at all. Let me change that in the room. We've changed the origin of the sprite, so we actually have to put it in the room like that. Try one more time. So here's my tank. There's the health bar, looks pretty good. And notice how the health bar follows me along. Okay? As you take damage, that green bar will get shorter and shorter until eventually there isn't any more health left, and then you lose the round against the other tank. So that's how you do health bars. I'll let you figure out how to do that on tank 2. But again, the book has a pretty good description on how to do that. In my version, I don't have an ability to fire or take any damage. So I can't really show you the damage bar working, but you'll have to take my word for it. All right.